everyone, welcome back to my channel Anshika Goyal Illustrator, and it's time to level up your illustrations. So this video is all about Photoshop rendering, as you all know. So in this module today we are going to study how to add highlights, how to add shadows, where and when to add the darkness properly in a garment. So we are going to take a flat sketch of a garment and then we will render it, and we will learn where you need to add the shadows, where you need to add the light, basically the light source. So also one more thing, when the garment is flowy, it has lots of folds arising, we need to make sure that our fold rendering is coming appropriately. So here we will learn that in the session, but before that, please, if you haven't subscribed my channel, subscribe it right now, hit the bell icon, and also watch my previous videos if you are new to my channel for better reference and understanding. So without wasting much time, let me just move on to the session. So here's my screen and this is the Photoshop. I have already told you the basic things regarding how to add layers, how to work on different layers. So if you are new again, then please watch my previous video for better understanding. Here, the basic is we will use the magic wand tool, brush tool, burn, as well as dodge tools. Then this is the dress. You can take any kind of dress, whatever you want, anything which has more of folds, as we are learning how to render folds properly, how to add shadows and highlight in them. So yeah, starting from zoom, whatever part of your garment or anything on which you are working, for better detailings, you should always zoom that part. So right now we are doing this bodice part over here firstly. So let's zoom it, fix a color, whatever you want to do. So I have applied this magic wand tool and you can see this, it has been selected. Or else, for better clarity, as I don't want this seam line to come, I'm using this magnetic lasso tool. Because the pixels are not that great, I have downloaded this picture from internet. You can make your own flat sketch. Okay, so now you can see the overall bodice has been selected. Now what I'll do next is select a color that you want to render. Once a second, you can make your own color. I guess this is nice. And so the bodice part is colored. Now you have seen folds in the bodice part. You can see these folds that are coming. So here we need to make sure to add darkness again. So after this, for adding shadow and for adding the darkness, we use this burn tool. But before that, what I'll do is we will do the whole coloring, the solid colors, like this. Wherever the colors are needed, I'll add the colors over there. And the back areas, we will do it later once we complete the front. And done. Then take the burn tool. So the basics is, when we are assuming that the light fall is in center, जब हम ये अज्यूम करते हैं कि हमारा जो लाइट फॉल है वो सेंटर में गारमेंट के फॉल हो रहा है, तो वी have to depict the shadows equally in both the part, that is left and right. जब सेंटर में लाइट फॉल है तो लेफ्ट और राइट पार्ट में इक्वली हमें शैडो दिखाना है. इन केस अगर हम दिखाते हैं that the shadow is falling in the right part, so we need to show the the light fall is in the right part, so we need to show the shadow in the left part. तो हमें ये वाइस वर्सा करना है. अगर लाइट फॉल को आप लेफ्ट पार्ट में दिखाते हो तो राइट में आपको शैडो ज्यादा ऐड करनी है. अगर लेफ्ट में दिखाते हो तो राइट में ज्यादा शैडो फॉल करनी है. एंड इफ इट इज इन सेंटर तो आपको दोनों तरफ शैडो फॉल इक्वली दिखाना है. सो हियर आई एम assuming that my light fall is in the center, जिससे कि हम लेफ्ट एज वेल एज राइट पार्ट में इक्वली शैडो दिखा सकते हैं. So here the basics is basically um in the shoulder we have to depict the shadow, in the armhole area we have to depict the shadow, as in the armpit a lot of folds arises and which creates a lot of shadow over there. आप हमेशा यू कैन ऑब्जर्व जब भी हम गारमेंट पहनते हैं तो आर्मपिट में बहुत ज्यादा फोल्ड्स अराइज होते हैं, ड्यू टू विच हमारी शैडो भी ज्यादा अराइज होती है. सो वी नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट वी डिपिक्ट दैट काइंड ऑफ इफेक्ट ओवर देयर as well as in the shoulder, as well as wherever we have the folds and the seam lines. जहां भी हमारी seam lines होती हैं वो भी हम थोड़ा सा डार्क हाईलाइट करते हैं. So abhi we are assuming this plain fabric which doesn't have much of shine. तो ये प्योर हम कॉटन या रेयन ले सकते हैं इस फैब्रिक को जिसमें हमें शाइन नहीं दिखानी. As this is the lesson for basic rendering, तो हम बहुत बेसिक सीखेंगे, कोई पर्टिकुलर फैब्रिक या बहुत ही हार्ड फैब्रिक पे अभी हम नहीं जाएंगे. So you can see I have taken this hand tool which is actually burn tool. So what happened when we apply the burn tool? Let's see. So this is the selected area, and if we apply the burn tool over here, you can see the area, the shade has become dark. So what happened with this burn tool is जो भी हमारा शेड है उसका एक डार्कर शेड क्रिएट हो जाता है. So I need to apply this burn tool in this bodice area. So I've selected this all and added this over here in the shoulder a bit. That's it. Then I'll decrease the diameter to around 6 and show the shade in the armhole. Try to give only one stroke, as you will, if you will apply it again and again on a certain area, it will become patchy and much darker. It can be a bit change from left and right part, so you need to manage that by yourself. ज़्यादा change नहीं आना चाहिए, बस 19-20 का. Like you can see I've given a bit of darker shade in the left part and more of darker shade in the right part. So this much is done. We have added the shadow over here. Then I'll give the shade over here, as here's my stitching. And this is a separate part. Don't forget this. This is a separate part. We need to give the separate effect over here, because if we will not give this kind of effect, then our sleeve and the bodice will not be differentiated. अगर हम ये effect नहीं देंगे तो हमारा sleeve और bodice part उसमें difference create नहीं होगा. And as this is not a tight fitted dress, ये बहुत essential part है. This is not a tight fitted dress. body से हमारी fitted नहीं है. यहाँ पे हमारे बहुत सारे folds arise हो रहे हैं in the bust area, so हम bust का shade वहाँ पे नहीं देंगे. Usually what happens is we used to give this kind of effect. But we will not give this effect in this dress as there are lots of folds and it is loose from the bodice area due to its construction effect. So yeah, I'm making a bit of lines with this white brush, and then I'll make it more narrow. And okay, I'll add more of folds with this narrow tool, sorry, narrow radius. And so randomly we need to put the strokes. Again, don't make it patchy, and always try to make the fold dark from the downward area. And you can see the effects. Some folds are making much dark, some light. It's just that we need to create that effect, that here's the stitch line, here are the gathers that has been filled to make it look fluffy. यहाँ पे अगर हम garment का study पढ़े तो यहाँ waist line पे there's a stitching जहाँ पे gathers fill हुई है, जिसकी वजह से the bodice part is fluffy and the folds are arising. So that is why we are giving this kind of effect. And done. Let's just zoom out and see what we have done till now and check. So a very nice effect of gathers is being arised in that area, and we can observe and see that yeah, that area is very fluffy, that is not fitted from the bodice. This is what we want. Now without wasting much time, let's just move on to our sleeve area, as there are more folds over there too. So using hand tool, let's just highlight those. This is a very flared sleeve, so yeah, there will be folds nicely done over here. Okay, similarly, we need to do this over here too. You can randomly put the strokes in the direction of sleeve. Randomly doesn't mean that you will change the direction and put your fold in this area in this way. So don't do that. अगर हम randomly कर रहे हैं तो we need to follow the direction of garment. Okay, this much is done. Now we will just increase the diameter a bit, and we will give more shadow. As I've told you, in the armpit area there's more shadow that we need to show. Okay, here also. Don't worry if it is getting more dark or you need to make it light. We will manage it later. No worries for that. In some folds also I'm doing this. Also here in this part, but we will do it later. So yeah. If you think that it has been done, the darker shade has been added a lot and you need to balance it, pick the eyedropper tool, take the base coat color and apply wherever you want, or you can just increase the diameter and put a shade like like that. So this is the easiest way to neutralize just a bit. Let's see what we have done. Zoom out and let's see what we have done. And yeah. So now you can check out the difference. You can exactly see where your shades are falling, where your folds are arising. So this is what we need to make sure when we are rendering a garment. So we will follow this procedure in the whole dress. Let's just do it fast. Select all the area over here, do the base coat. Do in these areas also. If you want, you can use the magnetic lasso tool. If you want these folds to just deduct from your dress, like this way. I don't want these white falls to arise. Okay, so I'll just color it. This is the easiest way you can manage. Okay, done. So we will repeat the same thing we did in the bodice. Don't forget, use the burn tool, minimize your radius, and yeah. As now here we have a lot of folds arising. Also, this gathers and the garment is long. The important factor over here is the garment is long, so the folds that is arising in the waistline will be elongated. जो भी आपका वेस्ट पे से folds arise हो रहे हैं वो हमें थोड़े से elongated करने हैं. Why? Because the garment length is high. So you can see I'm randomly putting the strokes. It's totally random. You can decrease the diameter again and put more folds. Now you can shade some of the area. Okay, so this much is done. So I'm rendering it from the bottom of every fold. I'm making it quite dark. All right. Now I'll increase my diameter and shade. As my shadow will fall in the sides, as I've already told you, so I need to show in the hip area, because from the hip area the dress is quite tight and then it is getting loose from the bottom again. So I need to show that tightness. Yes. Putting the shade in the folds as well. Okay, so this much is done. Now the next thing we need to do on the folds of the waistline is add more shadow. Like, let's just do that. Firstly, select all the area. Take the burn tool. We have elastic over here, which is creating these kind of gathers. So we need to just give that kind of zigzag stroke over here to show the elastic effect. हमारे यहाँ पे इलास्टिक है जिसकी वजह से हमारे गैदर्स फोल्ड क्रिएट हो रहे हैं. So we need to give zigzag effects over here to show that elastic. And थोड़ा सा मैं folds को भी again dark कर रही हूँ कहीं कहीं पर. I'm making it dark somewhere. From the bottom only, so don't miss this. Okay, so I have made more effects over here. I have created more effects, and you can see now the effects are coming very nicely in the waist area. This is what we wanted. You can see very nice effect of folds are coming in that area. And now what we have to correct is the gathers over here. We need to make it more elongated in some parts. Like, let's just join this one. Only some area so that it will feel connected. हमें connect करना है इसको, तो हम कहीं कहीं पे gathers को long कर देंगे. That's now we need to work on the sleeve folds again. Now we are rendering it deeply, so that is why we are zooming each and every part again and doing this. So I'll select the sleeve area. and this much is done. Now what I'll do is I'll again make the armhole area a bit dark. That's it. This, I'll dark my folds, or else what you can do is take the baseboard color and put your brush in this area, and I'll just remove this black fold and this fold, this, and I'll color it out. Now what I'll do is again, I'll make whatever line was there with burn tool to give more 3D effect. I'll make the line like this. That was done with the black one. Okay. Now we will increase the diameter and neutralize this effect. That's it. Merge it, merge these folds from downward part, start merging, and that's it. Now this is the back side of the sleeve, so we have to make it darker in shade than the front. This much is enough. Just one stroke. That's it. Okay. Then again, if you want to give the strokes again in this, in this part, you can do the same again, like that. That's it. So let's see what we have done now. So check out the difference in the left and the right sleeve. That is totally clear. The left one is very nicely done. A proper real 3D effect is coming in that part. The fold is very nicely done in that. But in the right, it's quite messy because we haven't made proper finishing in there. So in Photoshop rendering, basically we need to focus on how should we make or make the look of our garment 3D. So we will repeat the same thing in this part as well. And also wherever you see the white spaces being left, just do that. Make it smooth or whatever you can do. Pick that color and okay, now it is. So you need to balance it. You need to zoom every part and check out clearly where we have left the effect. So let's just move to the left part. Sorry, the downward part and zoom it again. Okay, this much is nice. Now, firstly, we will select the whole area. Or else we can select till the waistline. That will be much better. Nice. Now let's do one thing. I will suggest you people to just do all of the crease or fold here with the base coat color only. And we will repeat the whole thing again. Like this, color it out. See, wherever it is remaining, this color and neutralize it. There shouldn't be any white space left. So be sure about it. Okay. Now let's just zoom out and see what we have to done. So here again, let's just work on it and see. Now take the burn tool. We have to draw the folds that we have removed just now. So for that, minimize the radius and try to make it more straight like that. Random, straight, and in one stroke. That's it. Like that. Okay. So second one, I would suggest to make it small. Again, this. Now we will increase the diameter a bit. And in the fold area, we need to make sure that we'll make a triangle kind of thing. Like it will be broader, the shadow will be broader in the downward part as we did in the gathers also, and then it become narrow to the fold. And going straight. So basically we are merging it right now. We're smudging our shade. Don't make it much dark in the initial stage and try to merge if it is looking patchy or something. Okay. Again. So we are making this triangular thing because this is how the shadow fall is depicted in the fold. Okay, so you need to be very careful while giving these strokes. And also I made this triangle equally in the left and the right portion of gather. So if it is looking patchy, what you need to do is make the base coat color over it a bit wherever it is looking patchy so that it can get neutralized. And that, like that. So it has become light. Again, applying this burn tool. over here. Now I want my shadow to fall in the left and the right portion of the scene. Okay, so let me just make my selection very clear first. As the color is going outside, we don't want that. So let's just select this area only. Select this, and now we will do the color. Okay, and also in the downward part we want to make it more dark. This much. Similarly, do in the right part also. Okay, like that. So I'm giving more shade in the dark shade in the bottom area. I'll add a bit in this area as well. Again, random, because some shadow will be falling in this way also. So to give more nicer effect of shadow, I'm stretching it till here and this, just a light shade. That's it. If you think that it has become over, you can just put a patch if you want. For me, it's totally okay. Also, you can apply dodge tool, like take the dodge tool or else increase the diameter and apply if you want. So this is how we will just render our garment. And you can see a very nice effect of folds has been created over there also. The back part, we need to do it dark. As I have already told you, the front shade should be always lighter than the back portion. And for giving more 3D effect, so let's see what is our next step. I've selected my sleeve. I'll take the boundary color with eyedropper. I'll minimize my as much as you can and pick the same color that is being in the shade, outer shade. So I've done the dark green in these areas. Now I'll pick the sea green color, because the first rule of 3D is there should be no black line. There should be no outline basically, whether it's done from any color. So this much is done, but you can see it is looking very dirty and patchy right now. So we have to manage it. Let's say pick this dark color, increase the radius and give some strokes. Decrease the radius and let's say okay, this much. Let's do this. Take the sea green color, take some strokes. Like there. And then you can just balance it with a burn tool as well. Take the burn tool and balance. Balance is important. Here. So basically we have filled the same shade. There is no black outline now you can see in the dress. Let's zoom out and see what we have done. And check out, there is no black outline, sleeve is looking totally 3D, and there's a difference in the left and the right portion. So this is how we need to do in our whole garment. Similarly, let's do it over here also. Selection tool, select the left part, then take the color of boundary and yeah, make the outlines for this. So this you can see we cannot see any difference right now because we have done the same color as picked in the boundary. And now we will balance it out with our burn tool. But before that, if you can see, if you have any problem to smooth your boundary or like that, if it is not going straight or any strokes that is coming out, fix that with the white one. Fix this way. Okay. Now take the burn tool and yes, we will neutralize it. Wherever you see anything anywhere, if the outline is visible and it is looking very patchy, it's not looking 3D or real, so we need to balance it with this point effect. And done. Similarly, we will repeat the same procedure in the right part, whether it's sleeve or in the, it's the corset, the bodice. And also you can see the back portion is visible. So we will again repeat the same concept. Firstly, let's do the black portion, the back portion with sea green. Then what we have to do is burn tool, and here will be shadow arising in the back portion. So I'm just okay, make sure that the back and front, like in the front of the neckline of right area, the shadow is elongated, and in the back it's till here only. So balance it the same way. And adding a bit of shadow like that. Done. So you can easily differentiate in the back portion and see how is it looking right now. check out the left and the right part, how beautifully the left part is done and how the our right part is looking. So let's complete it fast. So this is how our dress will look like when the left and the right portion is totally equal and the shades are given equally on both the part. The shadows are added nicely or equally in the left and right part. And as I told you, this is not a shiny fabric which we have rendered. This is quite rayon, which doesn't have much of shine but is lightweighted. And with this folds, you can see the fabric is lightweighted, plus it is quite smooth, and there are folds arising, gathers in the waistline where you can see shadow, the flared sleeves, which again has a lot of folds in the armpit and from the falling from the shoulder. In the back area, you can differentiate in the back area as well. Like this is the V neck and there's a back portion that is visible. So these are the main concept of a garment rendering which you need to keep in mind while start your rendering. Always make sure whenever you are giving the fold rendering, just render much dark and in a triangular formation from the bottom area. So yeah, always keep these in mind and definitely you will rock the show. So thank you and so much. If you like the video, then do subscribe and watch my previous videos as well for better references and to learn the basics. Thank you so much. Namaste.